Everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome back to another championship tournament here in our WWE 2K16 Universe Mode series for the Ring of Honor brand. Now, just before this video starts, I will say there's no Universe Mode footage in this video. This is just going to be an 8-team tournament to crown our first Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, but I think this is more or less the last championship tournament we've got, and of course we will start to upload our normal weekly shows as of Monday, the 16th of November, so keep an eye out for that. We will finally be uploading Universe Mode footage. I have not touched Universe Mode yet, so I don't know anything about it really. I've set it all up, and of course before I start uploading those shows, you will see an introduction episode just showing you all the different teams that are available, all of the champions. If you haven't managed to watch all the championship tournaments, I will let you know in those videos who the champions are before we go into our Universe Mode. And I'll also let you know sort of things like show format, pay-per-view format, and all that sort of thing as well. So keep an eye out for those. They're only going to be short, sort of 5-minute videos, so they should be uploaded before our first episodes are. But enough about that. Let's get on to our championship tournament here this evening. We're going to start things off with the Young Bucks, Nick and Matt Jackson. And they've got the All Night Express, Kenny King and Rhett Titus. We've got Brian Kendrick and Paul London, and the world's greatest tag team, Shelton, Benjamin and Charlie Haas. We've got Kingdom, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. They're taking on the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. And then we've got the other half of Bullet Club, Luke Gallows and Karl Anderson. They're facing off against Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly of reDragon. So without further ado, let's get straight into our first match of the evening. Now for some reason this loading screen is still not working. It should be the Ring of Honor loading screen for the show, but for some reason it just does not want to work in these title tournaments. But it's not caused us any problems, of course. Once we get into the Universe Mode, it all will work perfectly, I'm sure. I've not tried it, but I'm just sure it works in the Universe Mode. But either way, this is our first match. Is Nick and Matt Jackson from the Young Bucks taking on the All Night Express, Kenny King and Rhett Titus. And here we go. Nick Jackson and Kenny King to start things off here in this very, very good Ring of Honor arena. I think this is one of my favourite arenas. I don't know, it just looks so good compared to some of the others. And I have spent a long time this morning setting up the whole Universe Mode. It should be ready to go now, I think. All I need to do is just slightly tweak some of the ratings. I think apart from the ratings, I've done all of the pay-per-views for the whole 12 months. I've downloaded all the arenas. I've done all the tag teams are now sorted. All the rosters are now sorted. Like I said, I just need to change the rating. So once I've done that, we should be completely good to go. I think this is actually the last of the title tournaments I'm recording, bar one that I might do later on today if I get the time. But it's not a title that I've actually announced I'm going to do. It's just an extra one that we could do, just to try and give Ring of Honor a bit of extra gold for people to fight for. So that's an interesting one that we could look at doing. But yeah, and I've also got to do all of the introduction episodes today for you guys. So like I said earlier on, I'll be telling you the rosters, the tag teams, the champions, and basically so you're completely up to date with everything before we get into them first weekly shows. I think that's about... Yeah, I think we are literally ready to go. I just need to record this tournament. I need to record the introduction episodes, and then I can get straight into Monday Night Raw. So I'm really looking forward to finally getting through and actually getting this Universe Mode started up. I think it's been about 2 or 3 weeks now since the release date, and I've been absolutely bombarding these title tournaments. I think I've done near on 30 altogether. And it's been a lot of work, a hell of a lot of work, but I have had 10 days off work, and that's mainly what I've spent doing, is just recording and editing and uploading these videos. But I think it's finally going to pay off. We'll finally be able to get into our Universe Mode, and I think it's going to be, like I said before, it's going to be a lot fresher because essentially a lot of the champions we've had crowns so far are not people we ever saw hold the belts in 2K15. So it's going to be a brand new start for us, and I really like that. I think it's going to give us a chance to try a lot more different things as well. Obviously, some of the rosters are very much different to what they were last year as well, and with this new allowing 2 guys to work one show thing, it's really helped us out with the with having bigger rosters on Global Force Wrestling, NXT and so forth as well. I think some of the rosters, I think the current day roster and Attitude Era both got over 60 guys on their roster. I think Ring of Honor is getting close to 40. I was hoping to get a few more, but still 40 is quite a big roster. And I think Global Force Wrestling is close to 50. So like I said, there's a much bigger rosters this year, which I think is going to, again, increase the variation we can have with matches, because I know last year, after looking back at a few of my shows, I did get a bit repetitive with some of the matches and the feuds and some of the people involved in the championship. So this year I really want to Really want to change that by getting more people involved. And I've done that one way in Attitude Era and in the current day roster by adding the second World Championship. So we split them back down into the WWE Championship and the World Heavyweight Championships. That's going to really help us, like I said, just spread the gold out and have more people involved in the title picture as well. So that's going to be pretty good. I'm looking forward to doing that. Of course, we've got 2 world champions on our current day roster, like it was a few years ago before they merged the championships. I think it was it Randy Orton and John Cena? And they merged the world championship. So I've split them back up. Like I said, it just helps us because we've got a lot of great people in the current day roster who really should be involved in the title picture. And they don't get a chance because there's just such a large amount of people that are involved in the title picture. So by having the 2 championships, it means guys like Dean Ambrose, Cesaro, Ziggler, all those guys are going to get a lot more of a chance on the main event picture, really. So that's going to be pretty good. Not quite sure yet who is going to be involved in the rivalries. That's something I'm just going to probably make up as we begin. I don't think we're going to go all out, really. I'm trying to think of what things we can do. I've got an idea what I want to do for the first episode of Monday Night Raw. I've got 1 or 2 feuds in my mind already that we can do. I want to have a look back at the championship tournaments because the current day roster tournaments were the first ones that I did. So I want to have a look back at them and see if anything happened, because some of the things did happen in some of the tournaments. For example, the Ring of Honor Heavyweight Championship tournament. If you've not watched that, then definitely watch that, especially the final, because the way the final ended was a little bit sketchy, and that has helped us really build up our first main event for our first pay-per-view. And I have said our first pay-per-view for Ring of Honor is going to be Mystery Vortex. That is going to be this Sunday coming. Well, next Sunday, if you will. That would be Sunday the 22nd of November. Yeah, it's going to be next Sunday. And basically, the concept of Mystery Vortex is that the card is going to be a mystery to you guys for definite. I'm gonna draw 6 of the 7 matches out of a hat. So I don't even know what the match is going to be. I'm not going to set the card myself. I'm just going to put the match types in one hat and all the wrestlers in another hat, and let luck basically decide our card. But the only match that will be confirmed for definite will be the championship match. As we get a bit more bang for your buck here. Nick Jackson with a moonsault. Going in for the pin. 1. Rhett Titus is in quickly enough to break it up. We got a bit more bang for your buck. That's pretty good to see. I love the way they put the Young Bucks finisher maneuvers in here now. Yeah, but like I was saying, I am going to announce on our first episode of Ring of Honor, which will be uploaded on Thursday, I will be announcing our main event for that. But I'm going to leave it a little bit of mystery. I am going to draw what type of match it's going to be out of a hat. So we are going to have a little bit of a mystery there. The rest of the card, you guys are not going to know what the matches are until the entrances happen. That's essentially what happens at Mystery Vortex. It is a pro wrestling guerrilla concept. So basically the fans are sat there. They don't know what type of match it is. They don't know who's in the matches at all. They don't even know who's been booked for the show. Literally, the music kicks in, the guys walk out, the match happens. That's what they know. And I think that's going to be a good way, especially since it's our first pay-per-view and we've only got 1 week to really set it up. So it does just really help us just make that random pay-per-view. Either way, we know all the guys on this Ring of Honor card are very, very good. So, yeah, so it is really going to be an incredible pay-per-view. I'm really, really looking forward to that one now. Of course, all the championships will be defended as well. So in some cases, I will say that, like in match number 5, will be a Ring of Honor Television Championship match. I'll say that. And then I'll pull out of a hat and say what type of match. It could be a Fatal 4-Way. And then I'll pull out the next hat, 3 random names. And those will be the 3 guys fighting it out for the Television Championship against the champion. So, like I say, there's a great opportunity for some completely random cards. And we could see some complete out-of-the-blue champions as well. Nick Jackson taking Kenny King out of the equation. And there you go. The Young Bucks pick up a quick victory here over the All Night Express in the first round of the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship Tournament. And the Young Bucks really dominated this one, actually. And remember, like in all my tournaments, damage retention is on. So essentially, these guys want to get through this first round as quickly as possible and take through as little injuries as possible as well. That's really going to help them out with getting through the next match. Of course, the winner of this one, the Young Bucks, will take on the winners of our next match coming up straight after this one, which is Kendrick and London taking on the world's greatest tag team, Shelton, Benjamin and Charlie Haas. So it's not going to be easy. I'll tell you what, there's so many fantastic tag teams in this. It's going to be very interesting to see who finally walks out of here with these belts. You see some more of the highlights from... so I'm not I'm not over keen on these Rhett, Titus and Kenny King cores. They're good, but they're not great. And I think if it comes to it, I've said already, I'm still trying to get hold of a Kazarian and Daniels. Well, I didn't put the Briscoe brothers in this competition, did I? Oh, I missed the Briscoe brothers. Oh, okay. I'm still trying to get hold of Kazarian and Daniels. I'm still trying to get hold of the American Wolves as well. So once I get hold of both those teams, probably a team like Rhett, Titus and Kenny King might dissolve for now, should I say? Disappear. And like I said before, our universe mode is going to be... And that's one of the glitches, as you can see, Nick Jackson up in the air. That happens very, very often. Somebody gets ending up 5 foot in the air, but we can just try and ignore it for now. Yeah, like I said, the universe mode is going to be very, very fluid, so rosters will change, people will come in, people will leave. It's all going to be based on storylines and how often people are being used as well, really. And here is our second first round match. It's going to be Brian Kendrick and Paul London taking on Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, the world's greatest tag team. And here we go, Shelton Benjamin and Brian Kendrick to start things off. And these two teams are very, very important in our universe mode, essentially because they're both going to play parts in multiple rosters. Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, of course, are going to be working Ring of Honor. They're going to be working Global Force Wrestling, and they're also working the Attitude Era as well. And then, of course, Brian Kendrick and Paul London, they're going to be everywhere. They're going to start off by doing the same. They're going to work Ring of Honor, they're going to work Global Force Wrestling, and they are going to work, of course, for the Attitude Era. But they're also going to be involved in NXT at some point as well, I imagine. Of course, NXT is working... Brian Kendrick's working at NXT anyway at the moment as a trainer. He's trying his hardest to try and train Eve Marie, which is not the easiest task in the world, but if anyone can do it, Brian Kendrick is probably one of the guys that probably could. But yeah, I think that's something we can definitely do. By having them in NXT, it increases the amount of tag teams we've got, but it also... it's also going to help us put over some of the younger tag teams as well, because these two guys are not necessarily going to be very highly rated. They're going to be sort of utility guys. They're also going to be involved, of course, in the Cruiserweight division in our current day roster, and maybe even the next gen division in Global Force Wrestling. It's something they could definitely be involved in, and again, just to help us put over some of the younger talent. As it's now Charlie Haas in the ring alongside Brian Kendrick, and as I said earlier, remember, damage retention is on, so essentially these guys want to really get through this as soon as possible, like I said, without much damage, so that they don't end up struggling, basically, in the semi-finals against the Young Bucks, of course. The Young Bucks did pretty well in that first round. They made short work of the All Night Express, and I think if either of these two teams take a limited amount of energy or any injuries into the next round, I think the Young Bucks will easily pick them off. And that's the sort of way you win a lot of these competitions. I must say, I've noticed that if you can get through your first round relatively quickly, you have a fantastic chance of winning. It all depends on that first round. It really does. If you get through that first round quickly, you can win quite easily. If you get through that first round in a very, very long match, we've seen a few that have lasted almost 20 minutes, some of these matches in the first round, and that's when teams really, really struggle to go any further in the competition. And we've seen as well recently that all the first round matches that tend to be sort of 10-15 minutes long, the first round matches, but then the second round matches and the final, they can be under a minute. A lot of them are under a minute because the teams are taking so much damage into that second round that they're just struggling. Shelton Benjamin now with that front headlock, and there he goes over the top on Paul London. Of course, Shelton Benjamin, of course, will be involved probably in the Intercontinental Championship picture at some point as well, and maybe even Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank, of course, is going to have to be something that we do manually again this year because 2K have said it really weirdly. And there's also a concept we're going to have in Global Force Wrestling as well. What we're going to do is Global Force Wrestling is we're going to have the King of the Mountain Championship, and essentially what that's going to be is it's going to be a Money in the Bank briefcase. Essentially, you can cash in your King of the Mountain Championship at any point in time for a shot at the Global Championship. And then as soon as you have cashed it in, within the next month or so, we'll crown a new champion. More than likely going to be in a ladder match or something along them sort of lines, or maybe a tournament. And essentially, yeah, we're just going to keep giving that belt away. It's not going to be cashed in like every single pay-per-view, don't get me wrong, it's not going to get boring like that. But I'm sure we'll see about 2 or 3 cash-ins maybe, and not necessarily successful ones. You have to remember that you still have to defeat the person they're challenging. So that's something I want to have a look at doing. Of course, the actual Money in the Bank itself, I'm not sure if we'll do it in Attitude Era or if we'll just do it in the current day roster. I know current day roster is set to have a Money in the Bank. And I don't think you can have 2 Money in the Banks going at the same time either. So I know on the current day roster we can't touch it, believe it or not. That's the stupid thing about it. We have to let the game decide exactly who's going to be in that Money in the Bank ladder match, which I'm not overly happy about because I know the game is not notoriously fantastic for booking the sort of guys I want in there. But we will do it. We'll leave the computer to decide that Money in the Bank ladder match for us, and that way we know we'll definitely have a real Money in the Bank briefcase holder, if that makes sense. Rather than last year where I had to do it manually. It didn't really work out too well. If we do it so it lets the computer do it for us, then we can have a proper Money in the Bank briefcase holder, and then we can get the animation and all that sort of stuff as well, which I think would be a lot better. Now, like I said, I don't think you can have more than 1 Money in the Bank briefcase going at once. So if we tried to have, say, a Money in the Bank ladder match at Money in the Bank for current day roster, if I had one then the month after for the Attitude Era, then that would wipe the first one out of existence, so he would no longer hold the briefcase. I think that's correct. I might have to double check it, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. And which is a shame, but I think it means we probably could do an Attitude Era Money in the Bank a bit later on, maybe. Be interesting. A bit later on in the universe mode, maybe even at WrestleMania. So possibly we could do the Attitude Era one at WrestleMania. Like they did do the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania in the mid-2000s, I think it was. Shelton Benjamin was actually in one of them, I believe. Was he in that? I think he was in that, yeah. And there's the pin. It's only for a 2 count. So that's something we can definitely look at doing. We can definitely look at doing a Money in the Bank for any of the other brands as soon as the current day roster one is cashed in, I suppose. But I don't want it to become obvious. I don't want it to be like we know that so-and-so is going to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase this match because the next brand is going to get their Money in the Bank champion next pay-per-view sort of thing. So I'm trying to keep away from that. But like I said, we can probably do it twice. I don't really want to push it around too much. We can do it manually in Global Force Wrestling by having that King of the Mountain championship that you can cash in at any point in time for a title shot. But we probably won't crown our first King of the Mountain champion until our very first pay-per-view for for Global Force Wrestling. So it will be in 5 weeks' time. It's going to be sharing a week slot with Ring of Honor. That'll make more sense when I do the introduction episodes. But essentially, week 1 of every month is either going to be Ring of Honor or Global Force Wrestling. The first month is, of course, going to be Ring of Honor. The second month will be Global Force Wrestling. Third month, Ring of Honor. Fourth month, Global Force Wrestling. And then and so on, basically. But, of course, because they share rosters, you'll see a lot of the guys anyway every single month, so it's not going to be a major problem. Guys like AJ Styles, Adam Cole, people like that you'll probably see every single month on the pay-per-views. The Young Bucks as well, Kenny Omega, the rest of Bullet Club actually. Shelton Benjamin lining up Paul London here. What's he got planned? There's the complete shot. Is that going to be enough to finish this match off? In with a pin he goes. 1, 2, no, but Kendrick is there in time to break the pin up. Benjamin tried to bring Paul London back up to his feet, but London caught him with that arm drag. And now Benjamin with London in the corner. What's he going for here? He's going for a bit of Tree of Woe, and I've said this in a few of my videos before. I wish 2K... Oh. Well, there you go. They've just completely done me in there. I was just about to say there's only one animation for the Tree of Woe, and that is just pushing your foot into the face, but Shelton Benjamin proves me wrong by pulling out a different animation. That's the first time I've seen that. It's pretty good to finally see, actually. Benjamin there with that big exploder suplex, I think that's actually called. I'm struggling with my suplexes recently. I'm getting confused between T-bones and exploders. That could have been a T-bone, actually, thinking about it. But Benjamin is really dominating Paul London here. I think London really needs to make a tag as soon as he possibly can, but he might not get the chance. 1, 2, and Kendrick once again is there to break it up and save his partner Paul London, and to save his own chances of going through further into this competition as well. Big knee drop there by Shelton Benjamin. And it's good, like I said, it's good having Shelton Benjamin this year because we can involve him in that Intercontinental Championship picture in the current day roster, and maybe even in the European Championship as well. I'm not quite sure he counts as a cruiserweight. I think he's a bit big for a cruiserweight, but he's picked up the victory here. and the world's greatest tag team are going on to face the Young Bucks in our semi-final here this evening. Great win here. And I think it was coming. I must say, I think it was coming. The Shelton Benjamin was dominating Paul London in the ring. And with Charlie Haas taking Brian Kendrick out on the outside, that allowed Benjamin the time he needed to catch him in another big suplex and pin him straight away for the victory. We see just some more of the highlights. Brian Kendrick, that big right hand. And this was the superplex to the outside. So this is something that the world's greatest tag team is going to have to think about later on this evening. Charlie Haas has been caught with this huge superplex to the outside. That's going to do some serious damage to his back. And of course the Young Bucks will be backstage watching this now, knowing that there's a weakness on Charlie Haas. So that's probably why they'll try and keep Shelton Benjamin in the ring for as long as possible. Just to try and, like I say, just try and stop the opportunity for the Young Bucks to work on that damage. And this is the, I think this is a T-bone. I'm sure that is a T-bone actually. I think the exploder, your leg's a bit higher up. Of course, that was only enough for a 2 count. And there you see Charlie Haas as Brian Kendrick distracted on the outside. And this allowed Shelton Benjamin enough time to catch Paul London. Again in that suplex, this time straight into the pin. And it was enough to keep London down for the 3 count. And Paul London and Brian Kendrick are not doing very well in these tag team tournaments so far. They've been involved in quite a lot of them. And I don't think they've got past the first round once. And that's something I forgot to do at the beginning of this episode. I can't believe I forgot to say this, but just for a little bit of fun, who do you think is going to win this competition? Nip down to the comment section now and have your guess. Of course, we've already had 2 teams eliminated, but I think they're 2 teams that not many people would have bet on anyway. And do be careful when you do go down there. Just don't scroll too far down. Just scroll down enough to be able to type in your comment, because I don't want you to go down below and find out who wins the competition before you've watched it, ruin it for yourselves. But I am going to go for... You know what, I'm going to go for the Young Bucks, because I really want to see the Young Bucks pick up some gold in this universe mode. So I'm going for the Young Bucks. And here is our third of the first round matches. It's going to be Kingdom, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett taking on the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. And here we go, Mike Bennett and Alex Shelley to start things off. Who's going to go through to the semi-finals and join the Young Bucks and the world's greatest tag team? That's some very interesting tag team division in quite a lot of these rosters. Like I said, there's a few guys that will be working both or several brands. All these guys in the ring will be working for both Ring of Honor and the Global Force simultaneously, so you'll see them a lot more often. And that's one of the reasons why I've split Global Force and Ring of Honor up a little bit. Last year we did them Tuesday and Wednesday. This year we're going to do them Global Force on a Tuesday, Ring of Honor on a Thursday, and have an NXT sandwich in the middle to try and just add a little bit more variation, because the last thing I want is to repeat myself over the case of 2 days. So that's the main reason why I've done that. And of course, what we're going to try and do as well is, if we have a feud that is taking place between 2 guys that are on both Ring of Honor and Global Force, we might try and run the feud across both shows, which is not going to be easy to do, because the game's going to be half booking it one way and we're going to be half booking it the other. But it's definitely something we can try and do. So that's going to be something that's going to be a good thing for us to try out and hopefully get correct. I don't want it to end up looking stupid. Either that, or whether we could let the game do it by just booking the same rivalry on both shows and letting the game just do it. But of course, it's not going to run perfectly in order, I would imagine. But there you go. It's something we can definitely look at doing. It'll really... I wonder if we can book AJ Styles, for example, in a feud on Ring of Honor, and then book him in Global Force in a feud against somebody completely different. Whether that would work. It'd be interesting to have a look at. And maybe that's a way we could create like a triple threat feud on the likes of Global Force or Ring of Honor. That's a possibility. Something else we'll have to have a look at as we go through. Like I said, I've not touched the universe mode yet. All I've done, I've skipped through a year. I don't know why. I don't know what difference it made skipping for a year. I just skipped for a year to see things like the status effects and how that sort of worked. And that's all I've done. I've not actually played the universe mode. I've not seen any of the cutscenes or anything like that. I now know that you can set your own championship matches. I think that's been patched back in, thankfully, by 2K last weekend, I think it was. So that's pretty good. So that was one of the things that was a major thing for us. We needed that because we've got so many championships on each brand. Especially on like Attitude Era, I've got 7 at the moment. And when the downloadable content comes out, bringing in the women, Lita and Trish Stratus, we're going to have 8 championships on the go in Attitude Era at the same time. So it was very important for us to have the ability to create our own championship matches, because obviously if you leave it to the computer to do, they'll only book the matches, they'll only book the championships that are actually based on that program, such as obviously your main event championship, your mid-card championship, your tag team championship, and your women's as well. So it's great to have the ability to finally make our own championship matches once again. But like I said, I've not touched the Universe Mode as yet. I've set it all up. I've got all of our weekly shows in there. I've got all of our pay-per-views for the entire year already in there as well, sorted. So that took a lot of work, I'm not going to lie. I didn't realise how much work it would take. I spent 2.5 hours today just setting up the pay-per-views, downloading extra arenas and things like that as well. So that is all set for the entire year now. And of course, I'll get into more depth on that when we do our introduction episodes. I'll show you when the pay-per-views are scheduled and what they're penciled in to be at this point in time. There's a chance they might change as we go on, depending on what's happening in the Universe Mode at the time. We might change the pay-per-views as we go along, but this is what they're penciled in to be. And like I said, just keep an eye out on this channel, because the either the next episode uploaded or one after the next, because there's another championship tournament I might do on Ring of Honor before we go there. Something I've been thinking about doing that I just don't know if I'm going to have time. I hopefully will. But of course I'm trying to get everything done today, because I go back to work tomorrow. And I want to make sure that everything is good to go before I go back to work. Hopefully I'll be able to do that. And like I said, all the introduction episodes should hopefully be uploaded very soon as well. I think the Monday Night Raw might be uploaded before some of the introduction episodes. That's just down to how long it takes to do the uploads. So I want to make sure that Monday Night Raw is up and available. For like I said, I'm going to try and make sure that every video is uploaded by sort of 8 o'clock in the morning GMT. So Monday Night Raw will be 8 o'clock on a Monday morning, Global Force will be 8 o'clock on a Tuesday morning, all that sort of thing. So if you do want to watch it in the morning, or if you are from a different country and that's your best time to watch a video, then that's what I'm aiming for. Like I said, 8 AM Greenwich Mean Time. So I think if you're America, is it like 6 hours behind or 8 hours behind, depending on whereabouts in America you are? I don't honestly know, to tell the truth. But we'll still definitely get at least one episode uploaded every single day. And of course, once we get further in and we start to do some of the bigger pay-per-views, Ring of Honor will have bigger pay-per-views. This first week is just going to be a one-day pay-per-view, but from there on, I think all of our Ring of Honor pay-per-views are going to be multiple day ones. We've got to have do things like the Battle of Los Angeles, which again is a Pro Wrestling Guerrilla format, and it's going to be basically a knockout competition. That's what we're going to have a look at doing. There's also things like the King of the Trios we'll do as well, which is a Shikara format actually. So we'll be doing that, and that's going to be like a 2 or 3 day pay-per-view as well. They're going to do the Ring of Honor versus Global Force weekend as well. Again, we'll do like we did last year, we'll do Invasion Attack, and then we'll do War of the Worlds, and then Global Wars, and I think there was one other we did as well. We did a 4-day pay-per-view on that one. So yeah, that's basically what it's going to be looking like. But again, like I said, if you want to find out exactly what the pay-per-views are going to look like, then keep an eye out for the introduction episode. They're only going to be like sort of 5-minute long episodes. They're just going to show you who is on the rosters and things like that. So that's going to be a pretty helpful video, especially because it'll make sure you know exactly who's there. And then from knowing who's there and what teams are, then you can give me your suggestions on things you'd like to see, feuds you'd like to see, maybe champions you'd like to see, or challenges you'd like to see pushed for certain championships as well. Great German suplex there by Mike Bennett, and I think I'm very close to falling off my computer chair once again. I'm getting terrible at this now. I'm going. Right, I'm back. Sorry, I've got a computer chair where you can lean back, and because I'm leaning back on it, I'm just sort of sliding down gradually until I get to a point where I can't get back up again. There's a sliced bread by Alex Shelley, and this could be a victory here for the Motor City Machine Guns. In he goes to the pin. 1, 2, Sabin has Taven out, and that is it. The Motor City Machine Guns have eliminated Kingdom in the first round, and that's you know what, that's something I was not expecting. I was expecting Kingdom to go further on in this one, but Alex Shelley with his sliced bread has pulled out the victory for the Motor City Machine Guns. Very interesting, very interesting indeed. And we've got some great tag teams now in the semi-finals already. We've got the Young Bucks, we've got the world's greatest tag team, we've got the Motor City Machine Guns. They're going to be joined by either Bullet Club or reDragon. Been quite a good tag team tournament so far, and it's not actually been too long as well. A lot of the tag team tournaments have been taking a very, very long time. I did one the other day that the first round matches took over an hour to do alone, but of course I'm up to 36 minutes recording time now. You'll probably have a lot less than that because the loading screens will be cut out, so you'll probably be down about sort of 5 minutes before that, probably about 30 minutes by now. So yeah, it's doing quite well this time. I'm actually quite enjoying this one as well. It's some of them haven't gone too well, especially the tag team tournaments, because there's a few issues with AI, but this one seemed to work pretty well. And here we go, Alex Shelley with the sliced bread. In for the pin he goes. You see Sabin does a great job of coming across and taking Matt Taven out of the equation with that Fez press and the punches as well. Great teamwork by Shelley and Sabin. And like I said, they are going through to the semi-finals. Who will they be facing off against though? We're going to find out in our very, very next match. And here is that final first round match. It's going to be Doc Gallows and Karl Anderson taking on Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. And here we go, Doc Gallows and Bobby Fish will start things off, and I think I said in one of my videos already, I'm not 100% happy with this Doc Gallows course, so I might try and get a hold of a new one before we get into our universe mode. But of course, Bullet Club's Doc Gallows and Karl Anderson, as well as Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, again will be working all of the, well, I say all, they'll be working for both Global Force and Ring of Honor as well. So again, another two teams that are going to be very, very valuable in building up both rosters, and that's something that I really like about this game. That's such a simple thing to allow people to work two shows at the same time, but it makes a huge, huge difference to giving us bigger rosters as well. That really, like I said, it really has helped me out quite a bit. I'm just making sure I'm getting all these. There we go. I'm trying to upload 5 episodes of Global Force Wrestling. That's going to take me like 24 hours to get those 5 episodes of Global Force Wrestling uploaded, I think. Each episode's taken about 4 hours to upload. So yeah, it's going to be close to 20 hours. And then I've got, well, that's a lot of videos going up tonight. A lot of videos. I hope you guys are ready to watch a hell of a lot tomorrow. That's all I'm saying on this one. I say tomorrow, this is probably going to be the last one. This is going to be uploaded, this video, after all the Global Force Wrestling ones, and probably after Monday Night Raw as well. Mainly because, like I said, I did Global Force Wrestling first because I was thinking to myself yesterday, I need to get this Ring of Honor Tag Team Tournament done before I start Global Force Wrestling. Then I thought, well, the Ring of Honor Tag Tournament doesn't need to be uploaded as soon as Global Force Wrestling, because obviously Ring of Honor's first episode doesn't get uploaded till Thursday, whereas Global Force is going to be done on Tuesday. So I thought to myself, if I can get Global Force Wrestling done and uploaded, then of course the Ring of Honor one, as long as it's recorded, I can get it uploaded, say Tuesday or Wednesday night. It's not a major issue. As long as it's all there ready for you guys to have the first episode of Ring of Honor television on Thursday, that shouldn't be a problem. So that's why I've sort of done it this way round. So I did start doing the Ring of Honor Championship tournaments first, and then I just stopped and started doing Global Force Wrestling instead. So, like I said, it's taken a hell of a lot of time this week. It's taken essentially all of my time this week to do these tournaments, and I've enjoyed it. I really have. But as I said, it has been a lot of work as well. And I am glad that it's all done and out of the way, and we can now start getting into our universe mode. But not only that, it means it frees up a little bit more of my time to have a look at the career mode, because that's something I really want to have a go at this year. And also it frees up my time to maybe have a look at the showcase as well. The showcase is something that I've not touched in any of the games over the last few years, I must admit. So that's something I'd like to look at. And of course, we haven't touched our random match series now in quite a long time, so I want to try and get uploading some more of those as well soon. But of course, that's really going to depend on on time as well. Really, we can. There's no sort of fixed upload schedule for the random matches. They're going to be literally random. But I've got a big list of matches here that you guys have still been suggesting to me. And if you've got any more suggestions, again, let me know in the comment section below. Of course, now you're seeing some of the other creator wrestlers I've got. It might be getting your mind thinking of different tournaments we could do, or different random matches, sorry, we could do. So yeah, keep giving me suggestions for them. I do have them all noted down in my pad, things to upload. and I've got some really good ones actually. Some really good ones, and like I said, they've just taken a back seat this week because I wanted to get all these championship tournaments done. I've also been playing a lot of Fallout 4 this week and getting that recorded as well. So if you're interested in Fallout 4, you can find that on my channel. Now I think I've uploaded about 18 episodes of Fallout 4 now, each about sort of 40 minutes long. I've got another about 20 episodes already recorded to get uploaded as well. So that's going to be my computer's going to be absolutely bombarded this week with uploads. It really is. Right now bringing Karl Anderson up to his feet, and Anderson takes him up, and there's a scoop slam by Karl Anderson on Kyle O'Reilly. Anderson pulling O'Reilly into the ring now, going for the pin. 1, 2. It's only a 2 count. Remember, the winners of this match will go on to face the Motor City Machine Guns in the semi-finals. Who is it going to be? I can't remember who I said the Young Bucks this tournament, didn't I? I said the Young Bucks. And I'm still sticking with that actually. I think they had quite an easy first round against the All Night Express. They managed to get through them pretty quickly, and I think that might help them out as they go into the semi-finals against the world's greatest tag team as well. Charlie Haas, as I mentioned earlier, he took quite a bit of damage with that big superplex to the outside, so I think that's really going to affect him. As we should have an episode of Global Force Wrestling uploaded very, very soon, actually. It's got 40 minutes left. That's going to be the Intercontinental Championship. So I'm getting there. I'm really getting there. Well, I'm getting it wrong now, aren't I? So I've got 3 episodes to upload, and I've got that 40 minutes left of that one. So I might get more done before I go to bed tonight, really, then. It's 2 o'clock now. Will I get 3 episodes uploaded before 11? There's a possibility. That's 9 hours, so there's a chance they could all be uploaded. Bobby Fish went to a punt to the back there, but Doc Gallows avoided it and caught Bobby Fish with that clothesline to the back, and now he brings in Karl Anderson. Yeah, like I said, I think I probably will get a new Doc Gallows before we start our Universe mode. Maybe that's one of the things I'll do after this tournament before I completely finish off. Like I said, all I've got left to do now before I start recording the Universe mode episodes is just to tweak the ratings of everyone, just to make sure that they are at a realistic level, because I'm sorry, but I'm not having the Big Show at like an 89 or a 90. That is just not happening. Big Show will go to where he probably should be. He's still going to be pretty strong, but I'm going to make him really slow. I'm going to really reduce his chain wrestling ability. He's probably going to drop down to about an 85, 86. So he's still going to be a force to be reckoned with. But at the same time, he's going to be beatable for the majority of top stars in the WWE. As there's a pin here from Karl Anderson. It's only a 2 count. And there's a few that I need to boost up as well, and a few that I need to take down a little bit. I've essentially got a sort of scheme in my mind of maybe 90 plus. 90 is sort of the lower end of the world title picture, and as you go further up, obviously it makes you more dominant in the title picture. I'm probably saying about 89 to 86 as the Intercontinental picture, US picture. Obviously 89 is going to be the top end. That's going to be your Zigglers, I think, and stuff like that. And then the lower end are going to be your guys that are less likely to be involved in the Intercontinental picture. Maybe the likes of Jack Swagger or something like that in 86. So he's not going to be easily beating anybody, but at the same time, he is just about involved in that title picture. And then everyone else will probably be below the 86 mark. Your sort of jobber guys like Bo Dallas and that, I think we'll have down at sort of like 83, 82 at some point. At some point, Bo Dallas might get a boost up, as will Adam Rose at some point as well. We do have storyline ideas of things we could do for him, but that will all come in good time. There's the big running knee by Karl Anderson, and I think Bullet Club, Karl Anderson's completely demolishing Bobby Fish here in the ring. But Bobby Fish back up with a shoulder block, and Fish showing his resilience and then showing his sexy swagger as well. Bit of a strange little taunt there by Bobby Fish, but Fish now slowing the match down. There's that drop kick to the face on Karl Anderson, and Anderson might be regretting not going for the pin a little bit earlier. And yeah, the one reason I want to change some of these stats as well is the downloaded wrestlers. Some people are... Oh god, I've changed the stats for most of the guys that have been in the tournaments already, but some of the... I don't understand what some people's mindset goes through. Like, I think I downloaded Paul London and Brian Kendrick. They'd uploaded Paul London as a 99 rated and Brian Kendrick as a 97 rated. Like, what goes through somebody's mind to do that? The thing is, you create a really good core. Some people have done. They've created fantastic looking creator wrestlers. But then they go absolutely crazy and give them 100 ratings. And like, what's the point? So I do need to go through and change all those so they're a bit more realistic as well. Because there are a few that are still on there that I haven't used in any of the title tournaments that need to be changed. Someone like Lapaka, for example. Lapaka is something that I have downloaded to be part of the Cruiserweight division in the Attitude Era roster. And maybe the Hardcore division as well, since he was the chairman in WCW. I seem to remember the chairman of the board in WCW, and he used to hit people with lots of chairs. I seem to recall that as his gimmick. But yeah, someone like him, for example, they've got him down as 100 rated, and I don't want to have him as 100 rated. I want him to be good enough to be involved in the Cruiserweight picture and the Hardcore picture, but I don't want him to ever be fighting it out for the World Championship or the WWE Championship down there in the Attitude Era. That just does not make sense. So that's one of my jobs I've got to do today as well before I start recording WWE. Essentially, I could probably do it after I record WWE because all the WWE ratings are already sorted, so it might give me a bit more time to get the editing done for WWE this evening while I'm doing those ratings. But oh, Doc Gallows kicks out of Bobby Fish's pin there, and this match is completely broken down now. Referee's lost all control. All four guys in the ring. Bobby Fish is stalking the grounded Doc Gallows. What does he have planned here? There he is into the knee bar on Doc Gallows. Is this going to be enough for reDragon to pick up the victory? And I think this is again one of the reasons that reDragon struggled. I tried to push them so many times on 2K15 and they never really got very far, and I think it's because they both have submission finishes, and that's something that again on this year's game just does not work, especially AI versus AI. I've seen so far in this entire lot of tournaments, like this is one of the last ones I'm doing now. They're about 30 tournaments altogether, and I've only seen maybe two, I think it was, two submission victories so far. There is the big ace crusher there by Karl Anderson. Is this be enough? He's right in front of Kyle O'Reilly, and there you go. O'Reilly straight into the ring. Poor ring positioning by Karl Anderson. I think if he'd pinned him a bit further into the middle of the ring, I think Bullet Club will be through to the semi-finals here right now. But this is probably a match that's taken a lot longer than the rest of the first round matches, and that's probably going to help Motor City Machine Guns just to pick off the winner of this one pretty easily. See Bobby Fish now with the Falcon Arrow. Kyle O'Reilly has taken Doc Gallows out of the equation on the outside, so Bobby Fish has an opportunity here to go for a pin if he can hit something big and impactful. There's the double foot stomp. That could be enough. Is he going for the pin? He's not going for the pin. Why is he not going for the pin? He's gone for the over-the-top cutter. Now Doc Gallows taking Kyle O'Reilly out of the equation now on the apron. And I don't think the game really goes for pins as much as it probably should do as well. After that double foot stomp, I would have gone for a pin. Gut buster there by Bobby Fish as well. And again, I reckon he should go for a pin here, but he doesn't. He comes across and brings in his partner, Kyle O'Reilly. What has Kyle O'Reilly got left in the locker? What can he inflict on Karl Anderson here? Kyle O'Reilly is lining Anderson up, and is O'Reilly going to go for his armbar, or is he going to go for one of his other finisher maneuvers? He goes for a brainbuster. Again, it's very, very close to Doc Gallows' corner. One. Bobby Fish is there though, but he wasn't there enough. Again, a slight issue with the game there. I think Bobby Fish did take Doc Gallows out, but because Doc Gallows was halfway through the animation of coming into the ring, it does not take effect for some reason. So that's something that, again, I think 2K need to have a look at just to adjust. It's only very slight things I need to adjust, but the majority of problems I'm having are in the tag team division. But then again, we're not going to have 7 tag team matches in one night in a normal show anyway. So for the odd 1 or 2 matches, it's not going to cause a major problem. There's a pin by Karl Anderson, and this could be, oh no, Bobby Fish, no, Kyle O'Reilly, sorry, kicks out of that one. Karl Anderson taking O'Reilly up, and there is the powerbomb. Is that going to be enough? Like I said, the Motor City Machine Guns must be absolutely laughing now, because they must be expecting a very easy semi-final match here. This has been going on for a very long time, and both these teams have really taken a lot of damage. And yeah, I don't expect the Motor City Machine Guns to take too long to eliminate one of these two teams in the semi-finals and make their way through to the final. I'm calling that one right now. Whoever wins this match is going out in the semis just because of how much damage they're taking and how much energy they're losing as well. But everyone is allergic to going for pinfalls in this game, I think. There's a big DDT by Doc Gallows, and that's what I'm saying. Doc Gallows hits a high impactful move, but he still just does not have the energy to get back up to his feet. And actually, Kyle O'Reilly's the one flipping back up to his feet straight away, using his superior stamina recovery. There's the Falcon Arrow. Is that going to be enough to put a reDragon through? Kyle O'Reilly doesn't even go for the pin. He goes for the tag to Bobby Fish, and there are these odd matches where it does this, where they just don't seem to go for a lot of pins. I don't know what it is. You'd think there'd be a lot more pins involved at this point in the match where everyone's sort of struggling, but it does happen every now and again. There we go, finally a pin, this time for Bobby Fish. O'Reilly's across, takes out Karl Anderson, and there we go, reDragon is going through to the semi-finals to face off against the Motor City Machine Guns. But with the length of this match and the amount of damage taken by both Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, I'm not expecting them to go too far, to be honest. You see some of the highlights. Bobby Fish with his great striking combination, back fists and punches and all sorts there, and the big kick to finish it off. That was only enough for a 2 count though. As we see one of Karl Anderson's big running knees, you see him lining up Bobby Fish here. Now, was this the one that busted Bobby Fish open? It could have been. But again, that was only enough to pick up a 2 count, mainly because he did it right in front of Kyle O'Reilly. Oh no, that's the other one. That was only enough for a 2 count as Bobby Fish kicked out. And this is what I might have to change. You see Bobby Fish there with a knee bar, which is, of course, is his finishing manoeuvre. That's one thing that I need to probably have a look at. Give Bobby Fish, and I think Kyle O'Reilly has got an impact finisher already, so I need to give Bobby Fish an impact finisher as well. Because if he keeps going for the knee bar all the time, they're going to really struggle. And there you see, there's the win. So Kyle O'Reilly had Karl Anderson blocked off, and Bobby Fish was able to pick up the 3 count. And there we go. reDragon are going through to our semi-finals here this evening to take on the Motor City Machine Guns for a place in the final to fight it out for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. But I'm not giving them much hope here after the amount of damage that both guys have taken in this match and the amount of energy they've expended in this match as well. This match has probably been almost as long as the other 3 matches put together. So they're really going to be struggling. They really are. And before we go on with our semi-finals, let's have a quick look at the brackets. As you can see, Bullet Club, which is essentially the Young Bucks, Nick and Matt Jackson, they're going to be taking on the world's greatest tag team. And in the second semi-final, it's the Motor City Machine Guns taking on reDragon. And here is that first semi-final. It's the Young Bucks versus the world's greatest tag team. The referee rings the bell, and here we go. Nick Jackson and Shelton Benjamin to start things off. And like I said earlier on, Charlie Haas took a lot of damage in that first round match. And of course, they also included the big superplex from the top rope. So that's probably why the world's greatest tag team is elected to go with Shelton Benjamin to start things off. It'd be very, very dangerous to go for to Charlie Haas, because the Young Bucks will probably pick off the injured back straight away. So clever work here by the world's greatest tag team. And like I said, my pick for this competition, the Young Bucks, I think are in the best condition here. Really, they got through that first round virtually unscathed, in my eyes. So I think they might have a better chance here of succeeding, really. So yeah, it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. See who's going to go through to the final to fight it out for those Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships against the winners of our second semi-final, the Motor City Machine Guns and reDragon. We're going to have a great Tag Team Champions here, no matter what happens. We know that. Of course, as I said already, Young Bucks are going to be working for both Ring of Honor and Global Force Wrestling. We might see him elsewhere. I'm not going to promise anything, but I have got an idea that might... I've got an idea of something that I want to do that might involve the Young Bucks as well. There's also... what is there also? Yeah, the Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, they're working Ring of Honor, Global Force and the Attitude Era. Again, another very... I've forgotten the word now. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know what the word is. A team that can be used in a lot of places. That's the sort of thing I'm looking for. Shelton Benjamin takes a risk there by going up to the corner that Matt Jackson was stood at, and Matt Jackson showing a bit of respect there for Shelton Benjamin. He had the opportunity to push him off there and decided not to. I'm forgetting all my words now. I'm really struggling. Charlie Haas taking Nick Jackson up onto that corner, and I'm not quite sure why they're working so close to that corner. I think I would like to see 2K set it so so that teams would try and naturally pick either a mutual corner or their own corner to do a lot of the offense rather than their opponent's corner. But there you go, Charlie Haas with that great super butterfly suplex, and brings Shelton Benjamin straight back into the ring. Nick Jackson, you see, trying to crawl his way back across to Matt Jackson, but Matt Jackson straight in anyway, and Nick Jackson is blocked off before he can make it to that corner. Shelton Benjamin though has him up in that suplex. Straight in for the pin. This is what got them through to the semi-finals. 1, 2, and Matt Jackson was quickly in enough to break it up, and takes a T-bone suplex himself from Charlie Haas. Shelton Benjamin now lining Nick Jackson up. What does he have planned? There's that complete shot. Matt Jackson is outside with Charlie Haas, and Shelton Benjamin has the opportunity here to win it. 1, 2, and 3. They've got it. The world's greatest tag team are going through to our finals here this evening to fight out for the Ring of Honor Heavyweight Championships. And again, my pick for the competition has been eliminated. That seems to happen quite often at the moment, doesn't it? I can't seem to get any right. I'm not doing very well at all with my guesses. But there you go. There you go. I'm not very good at this, am I? That's why I don't bet on the football bets anymore, because I know just how bad I am. I just can't seem to get an even right at all. You'll see a few of the highlights. There wasn't many of them because, like I said, the semi-final matches are generally a lot quicker than the they're a lot quicker than the actual first round matches, generally because of the amount of damage taken through. And you see, like I said, Charlie Haas made a little bit of action in the ring. Probably just allowed Shelton Benjamin, a few seconds to regain a bit of energy. And that's really helped the world's greatest tag team get through this one, trying to avoid Charlie Haas being in the ring for as long as possible, because we know how much damage Haas had took in that first round match because of that super duperplex to the outside. And you see, Matt Jackson, he's not even aware that Nick Jackson's being pinned there in the middle of the ring. He's not even looking at him. He's concentrating so much on attacking Charlie Haas on the outside. But here we go, Benjamin and Haas going through to the finals here this evening. Who will they face off against? We're going to find out in our second semi-final, which is coming up next. And here is that second semi-final match. It's going to be Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley taking on reDragon, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly for a place in the final to face off against the world's greatest tag team for the Ring of Honor Heavyweight. The Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. And here we go, Alex Shelley and Bobby Fish to start things off. And like I say, I'm guessing on this match that the Motor City Machine Guns are going to make it through pretty easily. I think the amount of damage that Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly took in that first round match. You see Kyle O'Reilly there just draped over that top rope, just showing how much tired he is, how much energy he expended in that very long first round match. Then again, Bobby Fish is sort of finding some second wind here by the looks of it. It's very effective, whatever he's doing. There's Alex Shelley back up to his feet, and Bobby Fish gets drop kicked down. And maybe Bobby Fish's second wind has just been blown out of him by Alex Shelley there. And for some reason I'm sounding like I'm drunk now. I'm slowing my words quite a bit. I am very hungry though. I've just realised I got up 6 hours ago. I've done nothing but doing this. I've not actually had breakfast yet. I'm starving actually. I'm absolutely starving. Alex Shelley taking Bobby Fish up in that fisherman's suplex. Sabin taking Kyle O'Reilly out of the equation. There you go. The Motor City Machine Guns are victorious, like I thought they would be in this match. reDragon just taken too much damage. You see how slow Kyle O'Reilly was to get into the ring there. And that's, as you can see, I said to you earlier on, he was draped over that top rope, taking a lot of damage. There you go. There is that It's not necessarily a fisherman suplex because he sort of hooks the other leg. It's almost like a cradle fisherman suplex sort of move. I'm not quite sure, to tell the truth. I wish these guys would stop making up their own bloody finishing manoeuvres and just be easy like the rest of us. Then I'll know what the hell there is they're using. But there you go, Motor City Machine Guns going through to our final here this evening. Will they be tasting gold here in Ring of Honor? Well, the world's greatest tag team are currently standing in their way. Can they barge through them? We're going to find out next. And there is confirmation of our final here for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. It's going to be the world's greatest tag team, Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, taking on the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. And here we go, Shelton Benjamin and Alex Shelley to start things off here this evening. Both these teams will be desperate to pick up these Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships, taste a bit of gold here in Ring of Honor. Shelton Benjamin going high risk very early on, decides against it. There was Alex Shelley, pops back up to his feet, and now Shelley, couple of clotheslines. Big super kick on Shelton Benjamin. And I can't imagine this match is going to last very long. Both these teams have gone through quite a bit this evening. But I think the easy semi-final for Motor City Machine Guns might be enough. There's that cradle fisherman suplex by Shelley. They've done it. They've done it. The Motor City Machine Guns are your tag team champions here in Ring of Honor. Great victory for them. Again, there were some incredible teams in here, so well done to Motor City Machine Guns for getting the full way. I was surprised they got through the first round against Kingdom, I really was, but there you go. They've proved me wrong the whole way through this one. They are going to be our tag team champions, of course. Another one of these great teams that we can use in several places of Motor City Machine Guns. They're going to be working for Global Force Wrestling as well, involved in the junior heavyweight tag division, which I have actually managed to record. I know I said I wasn't going to record it because I didn't have enough teams, but I did manage to do it. And there you go, Motor City Machine Guns holding the gold high. They are your Ring of Honor tag team champions here. Great to see the Motor City Machine Guns as the champions once again. One of my favourite tag teams from TNA over the years. I was so gutted when they split and left. But here we are, been able to rekindle them here in the universe mode. But how long will they be able to hold on to these belts for? You have to tune in to our first episode of Ring of Honor Television on Thursday to find out what the plans are. So there you go, everyone. There is confirmation that the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, defeated Mike Bennett and Matt Taven of Kingdom, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish of reDragon, and then the world's greatest tag team, Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, in the finals to become your first ever Ring of Honor tag team champions. Wow, that's a really good one. I'm really happy with that. And like I said, one of my favourite tag teams from TNA over the years, but I was gutted when they left, and now obviously we're going to get to see them again. I seem to remember in TNA they had a really, really, really good best of 5 series, I think it was, against Beer Money. And that was a really good one. Maybe we could recreate something like that in Global Force Wrestling, or maybe we could bring Beer Money, James Storm and Bobby Roode into Ring of Honor at some point as well. That's definitely something we can look at doing. It'd help us out, have 2 more names at the top end of the Ring of Honor main event scene, and of course another tag team as well. But let's just play it as we go, I suppose, at the moment. Like I said, I'm trying to keep the Ring of Honor roster as realistic as possible to start things off, and then we'll sort of bring new people in as we go along, just to try and vary it up a little bit and change it up, create some different feuds and things like that. But that's enough babbling on, I suppose. Of course, if you have liked this video, then be sure to hit that thumbs up, but it does help me out a lot. And of course, subscribe for a lot more 2K16 footage. And of course, hit that like button again for the Motor City Machine Guns being the tag team champions, and of course for all the fantastic creator wrestlers in the show as well. And when I say hit the like button again, I don't mean hit it so it unlikes it, because that's not what I meant. You know what I meant. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure it's blue. That's what I mean. But anyway, I'm going to stop babbling on now. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.